Hello everybody, welcome back. The Anvil Hurricane was recently unveiled by CIG as the newest addition to the Star Citizen universe. An interesting little fighter with an impressive loadout and offensive capabilities that was labeled as a heavy fighter, but in reality the best way to describe it is as a glass cannon. By taking a closer look at the Hurricane, it is difficult to ignore the fact that it has many similarities with another little fighter that was unveiled some time ago, the Drake Buccaneer. The Buccaneer is described as an interdictor, but in reality it is very similar to the Hurricane, since both of these little vessels, both of these little fighters, have the same approach when it comes to combat. They are trying to overwhelm the opponent with sheer firepower and deal with them as fast as possible. They do have some differences, obviously, in their maneuverability, the hard points they have, and the maximum size of weapons they can bear, and this is what we are going to take a look at today. We are going to try and decide which one of these little fighters is going to be the best option if you are looking for pure firepower, if you are looking to overwhelm your opponent and destroy them as fast as possible. So let's go ahead and start with the Buccaneer that has a maximum crew of one person. Its length is at 20 meters and its mass at 14,000 kilograms. It has zero cargo capacity, and both of these vessels actually have zero cargo capacity since their focus is pure combat, not carrying cargo around. The Hurricane, on the other hand, has a maximum crew of 2 persons, a length at 22 meters, and its mass is at 15,500 kilograms, slightly heavier than the Buccaneer. From this first look at their stats, it is clear that they are very similar. Their main difference is the fact that the Hurricane needs 2 persons, the pilot and a dedicated gunner for the manned turret, while the Buccaneer can go out with 1 person. Of course, later it will be possible to take the Hurricane out with only 1 person, with only the pilot, but we are going to discuss about this later when we reach the weapons. Both of these vessels are not meant to transport cargo around, and this is exactly why there isn't enough room inside for that kind of activity. There is only enough room for the pilot and the gunner in the Hurricane. What really sets them apart is the number of thrusters, main and maneuvering thrusters they have. The Buccaneer has 2 main and 18 maneuvering thrusters, and the focus on this vessel is maneuverability. So you can dance around your target and you can destroy slowly or faster a bigger and slower enemy. The Hurricane now has 1 main thruster mentioned, but on the whole view, on the hologram, we can see that it will probably have 2 main thrusters and 10 maneuvering thrusters. So obviously it lacks maneuverability, and the focus on the Hurricane is not on maneuverability. Like CIG has stated, the focus is on speed. So with the Hurricane you would expect to approach fast a target, unleash your firepower, get out, and then come back. More zoom and boom tactics than dancing around your target, while the Buccaneer seems to be perfect for that kind of activity, for that kind of role. Sadly, right now we have absolutely no idea what kind of speed these 2 vessels are going to have, but it is obvious from the number of maneuvering thrusters at least that if you are looking for a more agile version, for a more agile option, then the Buccaneer is going to be the best choice for you. It also seems that the Buccaneer is going to have better power management. It will be easier to manage your power since it comes with 2 size 1 power plants and can take maximum size 2 power plants, while the Hurricane has 1 size 1 power plant and we have absolutely no idea what the maximum size is going to be. And it also has better protection since it comes with 3 size 1 shields and can have maximum size 3 shields, while the Hurricane comes with 2 size 1 shields, and again we have absolutely no idea what the maximum size of shields is going to be. But let's not fool ourselves, the focus on both of these vessels is not in survivability, at least in terms of armor and shields. They do have the necessary to allow you to approach your target and deliver your firepower, but you really don't want to sit and take a lot of beating from your targets because that will mean certain death. The Buccaneer is an agile scrapper made by Drake, while the Hurricane is considered a glass cannon. Your goal should be to avoid being hit. Having said that, it is important to mention that the Buccaneer has no injection seat for the pilot, like any other Drake ship, while the Hurricane has ejection seats for both the pilot and the gunner. So if this is something important for you, to come out alive from a losing battle, then you should take it into consideration. The weapons they have are very important when you're trying to choose which one of these two vessels is going to be the best for you and your preferred play style for the goal you want to achieve. Let's start with the Buccaneer. It comes with two size 1 hardpoints that are equipped with two 9-6 longswords, and I have to be honest, this is the biggest liability of the Buccaneer's weaponry. The size 1 weapons are just not that good enough. It also has two size 3 hardpoints that are equipped with two CF 117 badge repeaters, and all four of these weapons are on the wings of the Buccaneer, something that makes them really vulnerable, and if someone manages to destroy your wings, then you can be left without some of your weapons. But that is not all. It also has an unmanned turret, size 4 unmanned turret under the hull that is equipped with two Tarantula GT 870 size 2 weapons. And I have to say that the existence of this turret is something that gives a lot more firepower to the Buccaneer, since it can be equipped with one size 4 weapon, a gimbal size 3 weapon, a fixed twin link size 3, and a gimbal twin link size 2 like we have in the default loadout with the two Tarantula. It also has two missile pylons that can be equipped with size 1 missiles. Not the best, but it is still some extra firepower. The Hurricane's now weapon is truly impressive. It has two size 4 hardpoints on the nose that come equipped with two 11-6 broadsword size 3 weapons, and a size 3 manned turret above the hull that has four size 3 hardpoints that comes with four 11 series broadswords against size 3 weapons, and it is the first quad turret that we have seen in the game, hopefully one of many. It also comes with two missile pylons that can be equipped with size 2 missiles, and in total it has 4 Ignite 2 size 2 missiles. So we can see that although they have pretty much the same number of weapons, the weaponry of the Hurricane is a lot more potent, the size on the hardpoints is much better, and to be honest, it is the size 1 hardpoints of the Buccaneer that make the weaponry kind of weak. But this is not the only detail we should take a look at when we are comparing the weaponry and the capabilities of these two vessels. The first thing that comes to mind is the placement of the hardpoints. In the Buccaneer, lots of the weapons, 4 of the weapons actually, are on the wing, so if you lose your wings, you lose your weapons. While on the Hurricane, the weapons are on the hull, on the main body, so it is not that easy to lose them. You could say that the Buccaneer will require only one person, so it will be easier to go out, and you will be right, for now at least, because later the turret on the Hurricane will be able to be slave to the pilot and use it like this. This of course will have an impact on the avionics of the Hurricane and possibly to the size of the weapons you can carry with you. It is also possible later to have the option to adjust the weapons on the quad turret on the Hurricane, so instead of 4 size 3 weapons, you may be able to carry 2 size 4. So in total you will have 4 size 4 weapons, and this is quite powerful for a small vessel like the Hurricane. The missiles on the Hurricane are also bigger and better and stronger, so this is one more point in favor of the Hurricane. But let's not forget that the Buccaneer has better maneuverability, better agility, so if you prefer that kind of playstyle, if you prefer getting close to your target and dance around them, I think the Buccaneer is going to be a better option, because it may not have the weaponry of the Hurricane, but if you can dance around your target without him hitting you, then you can destroy him eventually. Another point in favor of the Buccaneer is the fact that there are plans to replace the turret with interdiction specific equipment later, something that will give more flexibility to the Buccaneer and will allow you to perform support roles maybe if you want to. It is obvious that the Hurricane has the advantage in terms of firepower and weaponry and of course size of hardpoints, but it all depends on your playstyle and how you want to fight, how you want to approach combat in Star Citizen. If you prefer maneuverability and slightly better survivability, then the Buccaneer is an excellent choice. If you prefer speed and sheer firepower, then I guess the Hurricane is going to be your number one option. But let's not forget that both of these vessels are meant to be part of a bigger group. The real power of the Buccaneer and the Hurricane is when you combine them with other Buccaneers and Hurricanes and unleash them to your target, no matter how big and strong the target is. A swarm of these little fighters, whether they are Buccaneers or Hurricanes, is going to destroy even the bigger and heavily armored opponent. So this is what they are good for, and this is how I can see them being used most in the verse, being part of a pirate or an offensive group in general. I think pirates are going to benefit a lot from both of these vessels, the Buccaneer and the Hurricane, and since none of these two vessels has enough room to carry cargo, you would expect them to be escorted, to be assisted by other bigger vessels. They are meant to hit hard your target and open a path for your main forces to unleash the main attack, or give time to your allies to get out of an area in a nasty situation. They will both require practice in order to master them if your goal is to deliver firepower and survive, but I honestly think that the Buccaneer with slightly better survivability, maneuverability and power management is going to be more forgiving towards new and less skilled pilots. These were the Buccaneer and the Hurricane, two quite strong little vessels with impressive firepower and capabilities that are going to be used best in a group. Thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. I am SquidofLove, and I will see you around the verse. Bye bye.